The second generation, you know, you got the first generation is the self-made, right, family. Second generation usually builds upon and maintains what the first generation has created. The third generation, these guys, statistically, the third generation loses it all. They lose all the money. So we got to work hard. We got to keep our eye on these guys right here. We got to train them well. So how you enjoying this whole quarantine? What are you thinking about it?
It's a good time to grow, you know, and explore new things. But then again, I do get bored a lot. Yeah.
You were enjoying it in the beginning though, right?
Yeah, I still enjoy it because, you know, I like to stay to myself a lot. So I have all those opportunities to just go downstairs or stay upstairs.
All right.
Yeah.
I was good the first week, the second week, the third week. Now it's like the fourth week, the fifth week. I'm like losing it, started losing a little bit.
No, I haven't really lost it yet.
So that's good. I'm glad you're keeping it together. How you doing? How you making out?
I'm doing good.
What do you think about this whole thing?
I don't know, really. I can't answer what I think, you know. It really doesn't matter what people think.
Tell the people what you think. Tell them. Give a piece of your mind.
I think it's just a change, you know. We are adapting this change. But in my heart and my mind, I feel like if mind is healthy, body is healthy. You need to occupy yourself, you know. And sitting home is also not the solution. I know some people feels comfortable to sit in home. I think we should have this open, you know. It's like who feels comfortable home, they can sit home. Who feels comfortable going, they can go to work, you know, whatever. But it should be everybody's choice, you know. We should all have choice in this. But I'm doing good, you know. I'm not complaining or anything, you know. Sitting with family, it's also a blessing. Spending time with them. And good to be sometimes still rather than just keep on running. So I think I'm not complaining. I'm happy where I am and hope everything turns out good for everyone and everyone just stay healthy, happy and do whatever they like. That's it.
So it's been a while. We haven't really been active that much, you know. We haven't really been posting stuff. And just out of the blue, like we're doing really well, and then out of the blue, you know, this thing happens where it's just this like, initially like the first week, man, the fear was so thick you could cut it with a knife. And as time progresses, things are lightening up, but at the same time, things are also constricting and feeling more tighter, you know. And at this point, we're like 5 weeks into a shutdown, you know, and it's been like crazy because one day, all of a sudden you get this notice, the governor is shutting everything down. And you don't know if you're life essential, what's life essential, and then every day to day, it's been like everything's changing. So like we don't know if we gotta shut our offices down, we can keep our offices open. And so luckily we've been a part of the Pennsylvania Apartment Association, and they've been in communication with the governor, and they tell us like what the rules and regulations are, because it's always changing. It's like 1 minute it's one thing, they're saying another thing. And being that we're in the apartment business, we're life essential. But we have to operate on emergency protocol. And so our workers are there mostly working in empty apartments, not really doing regular maintenance orders, but just doing operation, you know, like emergency stuff, you know. So, but now things are hopefully opening up a little bit. I hear there's a little bit of like, now we can start operating more normally, but all our offices have been kind of, people have been either working with the office door closed and just like telling people to work more online and through the phones and stuff like that. But it's really, I mean, when everybody's sitting home, the water bills are gonna be higher, obviously, you know, and really concerned because it's like, you got 40, 50 employees or over 40 employees, you know, you're concerned about them, we're keeping everybody working. And at the same time, you got families, all these families that depend upon us for service and for shelter. And I just feel a sense of great responsibility, you know, to not just the people that work for us, but the people who are our customers and our tenants as well. Let's talk to my son here, other son, see how he's dealing with this whole thing. Vives! Suraj! Come on, man. I have been feeling like my motivation is going down, lower and lower, man. It just feels like there's my get up and go has gotten up and gone somewhere. And my older son, man, he takes more time to get ready than girls do. Honest to God. Here he comes, Hollywood. So the real stars of the show come on today. Sharma's Karma has been void of the real stars, which are my two boys. You know, the second generation. You know, you got the first generation is the self-made, right, family. Second generation usually builds upon and maintains what the first generation has created. The third generation, these guys, statistically, the third generation loses it all. They lose all the money. So we gotta work hard. We gotta keep our eye on these guys right here. We gotta train them well. And so Suraj, what's going on with you, man?
Nothing.
Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
How's this whole thing been affecting you? How you been making out with this whole thing?
I think it's pretty good actually because you know you get to focus on the mind and body, get to work on yourself a little bit. You know, me personally, been working out, eating right, getting my work done, relaxing. I think it's kind of nice.
Must be nice. That's good. No stress, huh?
No stress.
How about you, Saga? No stress?
The only stress I have is completing my assignments.
He's got more pressure in his school. What about you, Ruby? No stress?
I'm not stressed, but now it's a bit concern I have for everyone, you know, especially for the small business people, you know. Those kind of things are very concerning because we are blessed, we are sitting, but what about other people, you know, who have small business like nail salon, hair salon, you know. So can just think about myself, you know, especially we meet day-to-day people like small business people in apartment, these things, you know. So we are seeing both sides. People are happy who get paid in home, you know, and people are getting good amount of checks. So, which is very good, you know. But same time, this other thing. So I think this mix and match, really. Good and bad, positive, negative, all together.
Yeah, I mean, this time is really, my heart really goes out to the businesses, especially the restaurant people. And I just watched a show yesterday with Ben Mala, and he was talking about, somebody asked him a question about like how much money is he losing because of this whole pandemic. I want to call it a pandemic, not a pandemic. And he's, you know, hotels closed, shut down, like $12 million right there in 2 months, you know. Retail, 50% maybe, you know, and then all the things to keep things maintained and still paying property taxes and all those things. But then when he got to his apartments, he said he's okay. And that's the good thing about apartments is, you know, as long as, you know, this doesn't continue to stay shut down, like we can take a big hit, but at the same time we can bounce back and we're not have to go completely under. And luckily we have some properties that are not like, you know, we don't have mortgages on all our properties. We're not over leveraged, so that stress is not there. And we don't have to, like a lot of real estate investors these days, they're in communications with their banks and they're talking to their banks and they're trying to work out either, you know, forbearance or things of that nature. But people who are well settled in the business, I haven't heard anybody say that they're looking for any forbearance or a delay in loans. But it's really important that the economy goes back. I mean, I'm not saying that I have a lack of concern for the people's safety and all, but they said first they tell us, they've got to flatten the curve or whatever. That's been done. Now what's next? It's time to open back up, and to stay closed up like this is death for everybody. The mortality rates, now that they're finally getting some numbers on the mortality rates, it's not half as scary as what they've been projecting it to be. The news and the media and the social media, there's so much crap out there, so much fear. It's fear porn, and it's devastating. And there's more, and the economists don't know nothing. The economists, nobody's ever been into a situation like this where everything was shut down. And so nobody's ever experienced, and there's a lot of other factors at play, dealing with the Treasury and things of that nature, and the Federal Reserve being absorbed into the Treasury, which the Federal Reserve has always been a centralized bank. So there's a lot of factors that play right now, and nobody knows what's what. But I'm very optimistic that we as a country, we as a people are going to bounce back. We as a world and a nation, because it's not just here in America, but we are the ones. Like, if the American economy collapses, it's a domino effect. It's triggered all across the planet. So there's great concern, and then there's great anxiety and stress and all these things, and people are sick and tired of being cooped up. They want to go back to work, and to get to a place of people are just sitting home, and the government can't just keep sending money to everybody. They can only do that for so long to give us over this rough patch. But then if we don't open up, it doesn't matter how much money they keep sending, we're screwed. All of us. Anybody, everybody, we're screwed. So we've got to push, to look at the science, to look at the data, and to say, well, how can we as businesses open up and continue to maintain safety and be done with this thing, really be done with it. But yeah, welcome your comments and questions and anything else. All right, take care. Thanks for tuning in.